From the best news headquarters in the world, this is Breaking News, a recap. All of today's news from yesteryear.
Hello and welcome to Breaking News, a recap. I'm your host, Wesley Newfarmer, and I'm joined by a woman who spent her International Women's Day doing what women do best, nagging.
We weren't nagging, Wesley. We were actually protesting for equal pay for newscasters, actually.
I wish I had time for a hobby. I'll be more than happy to donate to your little charity sometime.
Speaking of charities, eagle-eyed viewers may have spotted Wesley's lack of hair. Now, during the week, Wesley donated his hair to a Mexican charity who will spin it into rope in order to help illegal immigrants climb the Trump wall. A worthy cause indeed.
We all need to do our part. Now on with the news. White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer says even though President Trump stated during the campaign that unemployment figures were phony, they're in fact definitely true and correct now. Last year, Trump falsely claimed some states' unemployment figures of around 42%, and the real figure of 5% was false. Now, because the figures appear favorable to Trump, Spicer wants us to believe they're all true again. This coming from a man who seems to have trouble remembering which way the U.S. flag should go.
Spicer has had a busy week trying to clean up Trump's messes. When Trump tweeted that President Obama had wiretapped his phones during the election, Spicer was left with the awkward job of playing down the whole situation. To explain further, it's time for another edition of Breaking News, a recap, Lost in Translation. Today, I will be reading the actual tweets sent out by President Trump.
While I'll be reading Spicer's actual explanations.
Terrible. Just found out that Obama had my wires tapped in Trump Tower just before the victory.
The president used the word wiretap in quotes to mean broadly surveillance and other activities.
How low has President Obama gone to tap my phones during the very sacred election process?
He doesn't really think that President Obama went up and tapped his phones personally.
I'd bet a good lawyer could make a great case out of the fact that President Obama was tapping my phones.
At this time, the Senate Intelligence Committee don't believe that, but he stands by it. The tweets speak for themselves.
And scene. Sorry. The CEOs of 30 of Australia's largest companies have urged the federal government to take action on marriage equality. While the move has the support of many, Immigration Minister Peter Dutton says the government will not change their stance on the issue by being bullied. Because, the last person anyone from the LGBT community would want bullied is a straight, white, middle-aged male politician.
Blessed are the meek. After being injured during a David Copperfield performance, a tourist in Las Vegas has vowed to expose the magician's most famous illusions. He may want to start with Copperfield's most impressive trick: how on earth did he manage to date Claudia Schiffer?
A supermarket chain in Australia is under fire after a manager asked staff to work 4 extra hours on a Sunday, not for added income or time in lieu, but for pizza. Most employees found the request to be insulting and inappropriate, with the exception of 4 teenagers who were overheard calling out, "Cowabunga dude." Well, it's that time of the year again when Americans lose their shit over 68 college basketball teams playing in an elimination tournament, or as it's also known,
St. Patrick's Day.
Day. So how does the fixture work? Well, it's quite simple, really. Once the first weekend of games has been played, punters are left with what they call the Sweet 16.
Which is also the term I use to describe my after-work drinking routine.
The second weekend narrows the field first to the Elite 8.
The pet name I give to my toes after that unfortunate skiing accident in Vermont.
And after that, we are left with the Final 4.
The title of my WhatsApp group chat with my ex-wives.
The final weekend focuses on the 4 semi-finalists. The 2 semi-final victors move on to play in the national championship game, and only one will be crowned the NCAA champions for 2017. While the chances of correctly guessing the winner of every game is less than 1 in 9.2 quintillion...
Sounds like my chances with Jenny from accounts. She's a hard nut to crack.
It doesn't stop the majority of the country betting close to $9.2 billion trying to get it right.
Which reminds me, I need to wire some more money to my offshore account.
We here at Breaking News wish all the teams...
And the cheerleaders.
all the very best. Now, it's over to Wesley for the weather.
Do you want to build a snowman? If you live on the east coast of the US this week, you're going to want to answer yes to that question and try to have a bit of fun, because if you don't, you might end up miserable.
As Australia moves into autumn, it's been revealed that more than 200 weather records were broken just this summer, proving once again that not only does Mother Nature have bipolar, she's clearly not feeling the need to take her meds.
In the Middle East, it's currently pleasant. Kind of like how the world seemed before Trump, before Brexit, before La La Land didn't win Best Picture.
Well, that's all we have time for this week. If you liked our show, please share amongst your friends. If you didn't, maybe this will help.
You're turtles.
Yep, so we are.
I can't handle this.
Thank you for watching. I'm Wesley Newfarmer.
And I'm Jessica Pratt.
Tune in next week to see more breaking news a few days after it actually happens.